that makes civilized society function. But not anymore, and you see that every day. Not anymore. We're putting America first, and we are making America great again. Very simple. We are making America great again. Tonight, after 11 months, our border is secure. Inflation is stopped. Wages are up. Prices are down. Our nation is strong. America is respected. And our country is back, stronger than ever before. We're poised for an economic boom, the likes of which the world has never seen. Soon we will host the World Cup and the Olympics, both of which I got. But most importantly, we will celebrate the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence. There could be no more fitting tribute to this epic milestone than to complete the comeback of America that began just 1 year ago. When the world looks at us next year, let them see a nation that is loyal to its citizens, faithful to its workers, confident to its identity, certain to its destiny, and the envy of the entire globe. We are respected again like we have never been respected before. To each and every one of you, have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. God bless you all.
This is the book of First Thessalonians, chapter 5 and verse 3. It reads, For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. Shalom, shalom, Akim. Call Allah, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushua, Bahashim, Bachakoras. And double honor to the elders and apostles of the great millstone who rule and teach well. Peace, blessings, salutations to the hopeful elect, walk, who are listening in truth and sincerity. I am the brother Gabaria Allah coming at you with another lesson. All right, and this lesson is going into the um the video clip that you see in the post production. Okay, oh, this dude, all right, Trump, pretty much saying how great America is or how great it's going to be, and this it just shows that Babylon is crumbling. Okay, even if it may not seem like it, even if it may seem like the opposite. Okay, we understand that there has to come a time of peace and safety. Okay, because how else would it be sudden destruction? How else will it come as a thief in the night? Okay, it's unexpected, right? So when it's unexpected, that means there's not going to be chaos from the get-go. All right, the Lord has to cause some sort of, false reality for these people, false hope for these people. Okay, and that's exactly what's going on now. So I'm going to open up again with the book of First Thessalonians, chapter 5. All right, beginning in verse 1. The point is at verse 3. But of the times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you, for yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night, right? Like I mentioned before, it's unexpected. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. Right, man? So it's gonna come as a surprise, okay? Because the destruction is going to be sudden. All right, just how he was boasting about how fast, in only 1 year or whatever, that America went from a bad state, or a slack, yeah, bad state of as a nation, um, to how big and prosperous they are now, and that is, the proudfulness of Babylon, which I also have in Jeremiah 51. Okay, it says, But ye, brethren, are not in darkness, that that day should overtake you as a thief. Right. Okay. We are not in darkness because we know that this is supposed to happen. These things these, peace treaties, these things that are going on and being good and the gas is going down, the gas prices is going down, whenever I fill up gas, man, $20 can only get you so far with fucking $4 gas. All right, so this dude is, lowered it to like $2 or whatever. Okay, all that is, signs of, hey, maybe Babylon isn't so dead after all. But as a matter of fact, the Lord is laying a snare upon all you fucking individuals who want Babylon to succeed. But we are not in that. We see the snare, we see the trap that the Heavenly Father is placing down, and really the only begotten Son, Yahushua, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, is setting down. Okay? Because we are those children of the light, as it says in verse 5. Ye are all the children of light and the children of day. We are not of night nor of darkness. Therefore, let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober, right? We had to watch and we had to stay sober. We have to stay on that watchtower. That's why when these things come and there is situations where, the president is going to make a national speech, all brothers should really be watching it because what are we? We are watchmen. We are pretty much news anchors for the Lord's sheep, you know. That's why he says stay on your watchtowers. All right, these things that we have to see these things come to pass, and we have to make a report on it and edify the sheep to let the flock know what the heck is going on. For they that sleep, sleep in the night, and they that be drunken are drunk in the night. But let us who are of the day be sober, putting on the breastplate of faith and love, and for an helmet the hope of salvation. Right, man? Okay. We have to be sober and we have to put on the breastplate and the armor of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Okay. Um, it goes on. For power hath not anointed us to wrath, Slakia. For power hath not appointed us to wrath, but to obtain salvation by our Lord Yahushua HaMashiach. Right, man. Who died for us, that whether we wake or sleep, we should live together with him. Wherefore comfort yourselves together and edify one another, even as also ye do. All right, so we got to edify one another. Okay. And these things should really bring you comfort because, you know, surface level, to any individual in the earth, it just may seem like it's good. It's a good thing. What are those prophets talking about? Of course, America, Trump, he fixed everything. Yeah, well, you know, he said how he was giving the military money. Now that's fucking hush money, man. There's something bigger going on. All right. That war with Venezuela has been cooled down. All right. NATO is targeting Russia still. Okay, all this shit that are going behind the scenes, man. Okay, because this dude Trump is just a puppet master. Or it's like he's just a puppet, you know. He's just the elites send him out there and he's the one giving the speech. But, you know, there's more there's more than meets the eye, as they say. All right. But I'm gonna grab, I didn't want to make it too long. All right, I just wanted to grab some scriptures, all right, to prove that the Lord is, that Babylon is proudful, because this fucking place is proud, man. So I have the book of Jeremiah, chapter 51, beginning at verse, um, start at verse 1. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, I will raise up Babylon, and against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me, a destroying wind, and will send into Babylon fanners, that they shall fan her, and shall empty her land, for in the day of trouble they shall be against her round about. Against him that bendeth, let the archer bend his bow, and against him that lifteth up his brigandly, Brigandine, Bragandine, and spare ye not her young men, destroy ye utterly all her hosts, which host goes into army. Okay, and this word, Salakia. Let me look this up. Because I know that means, I know that means something. Salakia, bear with me, Babakisha. Alright. It means, it's Strong's H 5630, and it goes into armor. Alright, it goes into armor, and if you grab the root of it, it goes into a weapon, a javelin, body armor. Okay, so that Brigandine, pretty much goes into armor. Okay, but pretty much anyone who's trying to help, Babylon or these other nations, okay, that you're gonna have NATO fighting with the in NATO and the EU are gonna be fighting against Russia and these other Soviet Union, you know, and that's why you have the scriptures speak on the leopard, I believe, being the beginning or the head of it, meaning the beginning of the empire, okay, and the feet being the bear, okay, which the foot means the end of the empire, and the bear is going into Russia, okay, and it's all spiritual because when you look up the national animal of Russia, it's a bear, okay, so it's all going, it's all come full circle. But those bows that it's talking about in verse 3, against him that bendeth, let the archer bend his bow. Okay, that's speaking about, pretty much nukes, man. Okay, which we can use to interpret as nukes. Okay, because these nations have, the modern day bow and arrow is the nukes, man. You know. Now, I'm gonna jump down to verse 7. Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord Jehovah Hashem Yahushai's hand, that made all earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. Babylon is sudden fallen and destroyed. Howl for her, take balm for her pain, if so be she may be healed. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go every one into his own country, for her judgment reaches unto heaven, and is lifted up even to the skies. All right, so these other, nations, Moab and Ammon, they're all better off pretty much fleeing to your own fucking country. Okay, you're better off doing that. Okay, but judgment is gonna take place on who it was gonna take place on. Okay, and the elect are gonna be in Babylon to pretty much get that salvation. Okay, because Babylon is going to be destroyed. Okay, America, aka Babylon, is going to be destroyed, man. So don't let these things, false scenarios, okay, pretty much, you know, well, not false scenarios, but these sayings that these high people are going at it. It's all bullshit, man. Because if Babylon is proud, man, the Lord hates proud. Pride. Jeremiah 50 and 31. Behold, I am against thee, O thou most proud, saith the Lord Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, power of hosts. For that day is come, the time that I will visit thee. Okay? And I'm ended off right here. I'm going to go back to Jeremiah 51 and jump down to verse 58. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, of hosts. The broad walls of Babylon shall be utterly broken, and her high gates shall be burned with fire, and the people shall labor in vain, and the folk in fire, and they shall be weary. Right, man? Because it's all going to go up in flames. Speaking through the Bible. This is biblical prophecy that America, aka Babylon the Great, will be burned with thermal and nuclear fire via those nukes, man. So, Lord willing was edifying, Lord willing was uplifting. Call Allah Yahweh Bahashim, Yahushua Bahashim Chakurash. And Dabani yet again to the elders and apostles of the great millstone who rule and teach all who taught me the truth and sincerity. Peace, blessings, salutations to the hopeful elect, Wagwath, for listening, truth and sincerity. Shalom.